A quick disclaimer, a trigger warning. This video covers topics on ED, mental health, P, and grooming. Thank you. Hi and welcome to my soul tribe. My name is Miriam Rose. Today we are talking about what happens to YouTube creators who become irrelevant. So I hope you enjoyed this topic. If you do, please give my video a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel as well as Instagram and TikTok for regular updates. And also, if you would like to expand your consciousness, please visit my Spiritual Destiny YouTube channel and also subscribe to it and comment and give it a thumbs up. So thank you very much. Engagement will be wonderful. I will absolutely appreciate it. Positive comments are obviously more appreciated than negative ones, but you know, at the end of the day, you get to vote with your comments and your engagement. So please bear with me. This is a bit different for me. I've taken a lot of notes and let's see how I go with this video. So when it comes to YouTube creators who have become irrelevant, do they change their content? Do they stick with the same content and hope for the best? Or do they leave YouTube altogether to pursue a different career? A few examples that I can mention would be Graveyard Girl. She has been doing for years and years videos on as seen on TV products, and it worked for her for many years, but subscribers have voted as they do with their comments and their dislikes, etc., and her channel started to dwindle and to become irrelevant. So nobody wanted to watch her content anymore. So she asked Shane Dawson, who at the time was helping creators to revive their channels and to give it a fresh outlook, to come and help her, bring a different perspective for her channel. So Shane Dawson tried to resurrect her dying channel by suggesting that she changes her content. She didn't want to do that. She says very much that she likes what she does. She has fun with it. She hasn't changed her content in any way. She's still doing the same as seen on TV products, and she's loving it. So she's enjoying herself. Her subscriber count has dropped dramatically, but she says that she's not going to change up content because she enjoys it. So what happens in her situation? She's become irrelevant. In her situation, she's doing it for fun rather than for the monetary benefits. Now, another creator which is quite troublesome is Eugenia Cooney. She suffers from a very severe ED. Her followers are absolutely terrified for her health and well-being, and they're stating that in every video which she puts out there. However, she pretends like nothing is wrong, and she is absolutely thriving on the negative attention and on the fact that, she's very thin. And unfortunately, this type of behavior is very much aligned with an ED for which she suffers from. So in her case, although her YouTube channel is becoming irrelevant because of her health issues, and her subscribers aren't willing to be watching somebody who is slowly but surely, she's looking very unhealthy. So many people have decided that they've tried to help her without any kind of response from her because she's just wiltering away. So many people have decided to unsubscribe to that negative content, the negative pictures that they're seeing, her images. So they have decided to unsubscribe, and she's becoming irrelevant. Let's hope for Eugenia Cooney, who is an absolutely adorable young lady, that she will decide to help herself and get the help that she needs, the medical attention that she needs, and for her channel to become relevant again. Rich Lux is another one Rich Lux. Let's keep it. What does he say? Let's keep the same energy. Yes, that's what Rich Lux says. So when he has told everyone, and I watch him quite regularly, I enjoy his clownish content, but he's got some serious topics that he discusses in his drama channel. So he said that when he wasn't wearing clown makeup, which he does now, he wasn't relevant. Nobody was watching him. He wasn't getting views, he wasn't getting engagement, he wasn't getting anything. And he tried and he said, well, what happens to people who have become irrelevant? He said you can do or new YouTube channels, as I am. Is me. You can do one of two things. You can either change up your content, or change up your looks, or change up your mannerism, or you can continue to do the same thing as you have been doing all along and hope for the best. So before he wasn't wearing makeup, he was just in plain outfits and in just normal, discussing drama. This was straight from the horse's mouth. And nothing was working for him. He couldn't get a comment, he couldn't get a like, he couldn't get anyone to subscribe. So, he got these triangles. Everything is backwards on the camera. White triangles and really vibrant eyeshadows, long eyelashes, a crown on his head. And then people started watching, and he's a very successful YouTuber. He started from his mother's basement, and now, he's raking it in. So he's living a privileged lifestyle. Manny MUA is a makeup creator who's been around for years. Now, he became irrelevant a few years ago. I think about 2 years ago. He was cancelled because of the drama that was created between him, a few other influencers, and Jeffreestar. It all started with a picture of several influencers giving him a finger. And he lost around 1 million, if not more, subscribers. Now he has a large following, so and he was devastated, and he took time away from YouTube for a while, and he kind of regrouped, redeveloped, rediscovered, and came back. And he did do an apology video, I think, from memory, but nothing was working. Back in the day, people loved Jeffreestar, So a few videos later, when he decided to do a comeback, he said, my algorithm is in the red, but now I'm happier in my life being in the red more than I've ever been being in the green. So he's done some growing, and he revived his channel, and he absolutely did a 180 turnaround. So, he's got a very successful channel, makeup YouTube channel right now, but he did become irrelevant for quite some time. Now, another topic to think about is, how does fame impact a young YouTuber? So when you think about young stars like movie stars, dancing stars, sports people, the young people in their early teens, how does fame impact them? Does it get to their heads? What do they do with all this money? Their parents taking good care of it, their caretakers. One good example is Siwa. She created a fortune. Now, she started on YouTube very young. She's got the personality. She had the personality from beginning, and people were drawn to her. Doing child content on YouTube will bring you an absolute fortune. However, and very quickly. However, in long term, when you look at long term possibilities, things aren't as lasting, because the young, children stars grow up. their audience grows up, if they don't change up their content and grow up with their audience, they're left behind, because the next generation is coming up who doesn't know of the young creators, YouTube creators. So in this case, like with Jojo Siwa, she drives a car now. She's got a Tesla with her face plastered all over the Tesla, and someone egged the Tesla not so long ago. And people were saying, well, if you're going to have your face plastered all over your car, people will egg it at some point. So she did complain about that. She's absolutely lovely. She's got the personality, she's got the cute looks, but she has grown up. Yes, she has made a fortune, an absolute fortune. So what is she to do? Is she to retire now? Is she to start a company? Is she to study, to go to college? Because her lifespan on YouTube is quite quickly becoming irrelevant. Her days are finished really on YouTube, because her audience has grown up with her, and she is still, on camera, this cutesy girl trying, in pigtails and ribbons, and trying to be perceived as a young girl. And yes, obviously she's still a teen, but I'm not quite sure of her age. But she does drive, so she's quite an older teen or young person. So she's past her relevancy. Another one who grew up on YouTube is Nikki Tutorials. She is a makeup creator. She started YouTube when she was about 14, and now she's a couple of years away from 30. So she's had the most dynamic and successful career on YouTube, but she was about to become obsolete on YouTube because she kept a secret, a big secret. Her cameraman knew of her secret and decided to blackmail her. So rather than running away and becoming irrelevant, she came out and she told her story that she is a transgender. So she changed from being a boy to being a girl on YouTube. She had the operations whilst being on YouTube, and nobody had noticed. Because even when she started YouTube, she looked very feminine, although she's very tall. She's, I think, from memory about 195. Very, very tall. So that's the only thing that would give her away. And she talks about, not give her away, but that people may kind of wonder, why is she so tall? Because usually, not in all cases, of course, women tend to be shorter than men. In some, not in all cases. People come in all shapes and sizes, obviously. So she was close to becoming irrelevant, and because she came out with the truth, that saved her. And up to date, people have embraced her story, her incredible will to survive, to thrive. And she's transgender, she's proud of it, she's open about it, she's engaged, about to get married. So she saved her channel, which could have very easily become irrelevant had she run away and hid away. So now we come to a different topic. How does fame impact adult creators? I am actually quite glad that I started my YouTube channel as a mature person, because I have realistic expectations. I know it takes time for my YouTube channels to grow. I know it takes effort. Right now I'm doing it more as a hobby, although I'm putting a lot of effort into bringing you content which may interest you, be of interest to you. So I am keeping up with the latest trends, and I'm hoping to grow my channel, but I know it's a gradual process, and it will be more gradual for me being older than for a 14-year-old. So I don't have stars in my eyes, and I think that's a good thing. I'm being realistic, and I love it. And as long as you love what you do, you eventually, sooner then later become successful at it. So I'm just keeping on going and enjoying the journey. So as far as I'm concerned, it is much better to start becoming a creator when you're a little bit older. Perhaps not as old as I am, perhaps in your 20s, in your mid-20s, early 30s. You know, you have the maturity that it takes to be persistent and to want to achieve your goals and to want to be successful, but having the patience to wait for it, whereas young creators want everything now. So many people go on to TikTok because that's a much faster way of becoming famous, quickly. So a few examples I've got here is Gabbie Hanna. Gabbie Hanna has been very problematic for quite some time. She has literally gone off the rails. People are complaining about her left, right, and center, and I don't want to give her a lot of attention, but if she keeps continuing being can I say the word hateful or unpleasant maybe towards people whom she's done wrong, she can quite easily become irrelevant very soon. Yes, she does have an amazing following, a very loyal following, but people have had enough. People have really spoken. People have had enough of the antics. People have had enough of her ongoing barrage of criticism towards, several creators. One example would be Jessie Smiles, who is pregnant at the moment, and she did state that after years of battling with Gabbie Hanna, she has had enough. She doesn't want this anymore. She's got better things to do with her life. Yet Gabbie still keeps pursuing the issue. Gabbie Hanna is an older creator. She's got the maturity levels, and she's also a psychologist. So there is no reason for her to keep harboring and continuing with trying to be right. I think what she's trying to do, she has to be right and she has to be liked. And we can't always be right and we can't always be liked. So, for Gabbie Hanna, if she doesn't continue pushing her issues onto others, she is becoming or about to become, irrelevant. Her channel is not what it used to be when she used to tell stories. So another one who is moving away from YouTube for clear reasons is James Charles. He's got a very young audience and he is constantly in the drama. He became popular, famous very quickly from a young age. Now he's an adult creator, but he is and it's not hearsay. This comment is merely stated from his own behavior, which is not a once-off behavior, it's a recurring, continuous behavior. So he's moved on to TikTok because perhaps, he's done a smart business move because he has become quite irrelevant on YouTube. Even though he has a young following, but people are waking up to his unfortunate antics. From my understanding, and that's just my input, we can all agree to disagree, but I feel that fame and fortune has really gone to his head very, very quickly. Onision, has put out absolutely, the more he's out there, the more people are picking up on his inappropriate behavior, the more insane his content became. And now he's no longer relevant at all because he is demonetized, but he's still creating content, unfortunately. And now he's decided to sue all these commentary channels. Anyone who has spoken about him, who has criticized him in any kind of way, he has sent out, I assume it was him, because everyone's receiving emails from Onision's manager at gmail.com. wanting to sue everyone who's ever mentioned him. And one channel called Hot Tea, she received an email from him, a threatening, this is from Onision's manager at gmail.com, we're going to take you to court because you have, the negative content that you've put out there about Onision. And she's saying like, he sent the email to the wrong Hot Tea, it turned out. So that's that. Trisha Paytas, the never-ending troll. Is she ever going to become irrelevant? One just wonders. She has become irrelevant that many times. She has changed up her content that many times. She has been trolling for so many years that one can only wonder what's going to happen to Trisha Paytas. Because how many times can you fool the audience? Although she also has a very loyal following. But, with Ethan Klein, having an argument with Ethan Klein, she says that his following is much more vicious than hers. Is she ever going to become irrelevant? If she doesn't stop trolling continuously, I have a feeling that she will. I personally am getting sick of the trolling. And, can one person have that many mental illnesses, mental disorders? I'm just wondering. I have a huge experience with schizophrenia and things don't add up to me. I'm just questioning. I'm not saying she doesn't have it. I'm just saying not everybody hears voices, but there is a pattern that people have when they develop schizophrenia. And I'm not a doctor. No, I'm not. But I'm speaking from knowing what it entails and what it's all about, and not just from one person with schizophrenia. And I can tell you that to me, things don't add up. So, she may very well have the disorder, and I'm sorry if she does. That's another topic for another day. In my personal opinion, I'm leaving it open. You comment down below. Let me know what you think if you've had experience with schizophrenia and schizoaffective disorder. To me it sounds like if she's saying she's got mood swings, again, I'm not giving her diagnosis. I'm just saying it sounds more like schizoaffective disorder than schizophrenia if you have mood swings with your disorder. But in any case, all I can say is I'm keeping an open mind. Time will tell and things will reveal themselves. Eventually, gradually, because she has pretended to have other disorders, which she came out later on and said no, she didn't have them. And people did say that, you don't have that disorder at all, So anyway, I'm just going to have an open mind on that, and we can agree to disagree. All opinions are welcome. And please comment down below and let me know what you think. But if she continues to go in the same manner of trolling on a daily basis, eventually people will get sick of it and she's bound to become irrelevant. Now, she's a hoarder, a great hoarder. Like, the amount of stuff that she keeps and has is incredible, and she does make a huge amount of money. However, if and when she does become irrelevant, how is she going to sustain her upkeep? So that's for you to comment in the comments down below. Please do. I would love to hear your opinions. Next, what I'd like to talk about is when your channel is dwindling, what do you do? So Jaclyn Hill is a perfect example, and she's had so many successful collaborations, especially Morphe this and Morphe that, and every video she's come out with was the Morphe code and Morphe. So very successful now on YouTube, a makeup channel. Now she's got her own brand. Yes, she did have problems. She became quite irrelevant with the lipstick gate when her hairy lipsticks came out, and it was a big debacle for her, and she doesn't upload as often anymore as she used to, because now unless she is selling you something, she's not uploading. So she is, I guess, become more irrelevant. However, on YouTube, but she's very successful in her business, and now she focuses more on Instagram. Now she put out just a picture in a grocery store on Instagram, and she went on Instagram on a rant complaining that before she would get something like 350,000 likes for a picture, and now she's only gotten 100,000 likes. Now me personally, I would love to get 1,000 likes, like please, even 100 likes. I'm grateful for every like. I'm grateful for every subscriber. I'm grateful for every comment, but she's gone on this rant and talk about being privileged and not even knowing it. And she was saying, it's okay for me because, I can deal with it. But what about people who make their money off Instagram, who run it as a business? And yes, I understand where she's coming from. Absolutely. It is their business and it is their income. So I do understand the falling numbers and the way the algorithm works, that, if people don't like you, Instagram is not going to push out your content. The same with YouTube. So yes, I do understand that, but that is being very privileged to think that 100,000 likes is not enough. Is there shame in becoming irrelevant? Of course not. Of course there is no shame. Even when you become irrelevant, there are trolls, there are shamers, there are haters who hate watch your content. And Dustin Daly said it nicely. He said, keep hate watching my content because I'm making money out of it. Keep giving me unflattering comments because there's still comments. And the more comments I get, the more income I will receive. So, go ahead. In any case, there is life beyond YouTube. Obviously, there is. There was life before YouTube and there will be life after YouTube. And a few examples would be Jenna Marbles. She became irrelevant in her own mind because she was involved in a very minor scandal, and because she is such a nice woman, she decided that she will no longer create content, which is unfortunate. And then there was Emma Chamberlain, who left YouTube for personal reasons, and people started speculating, is she coming back? Has she become irrelevant? As it turned out that she became bored with her content, and she decided to take a week off and then another couple of weeks off, but she's back. So she's just changing up her content because of the irrelevancy. So now moving on to financial impact of irrelevancy. And that's when I was talking about before, about hoarders, about overspenders, about people who only buy Chanel, Louis Vuitton, Dior, Hermes, and, etc., high-end brands. And are used to the lavish lifestyle. Once they become irrelevant, their income drops. And many creators buy expensive cars and expensive homes, castles, some of them, to show off their wealth, and because they think it's so amazing, and people become jealous of them and they feel that they're so special. However, once they become irrelevant and the income dwindles and decreases, they can't keep up with their lavish lifestyles. So many go bankrupt, and many lose their beautiful cars and their beautiful homes and sell up, sell their designer gear and etc. And it's very unfortunate. That's why it's a good idea, once again, I'm repeating myself, but it is a good idea to start YouTube with an open mind and, not to let it get to your head if you're growing fast, and be a little bit more mature about it and put money away, save up. There's nothing wrong with saving. Money doesn't, although money is a way for us to, it really depends like what you want to do with your money, but it's a backup. You back up your life, with saving for a rainy day, just in case. Or if you want to say, what's wrong with saving up for a beautiful car instead of, taking out loans or for a nice home? And don't have a grandiose mortgage. Have a smaller mortgage. It's good to have a financial counselor, a for YouTubers who grow their channels rapidly and, start earning in ridiculous amounts of money, really. Now, I would just like to talk about creators who keep reinventing themselves. Shane Dawson, why do they reinvent themselves? Because their channels are dwindling. They're becoming irrelevant. So people have stopped watching. People are no longer interested in the content. So Shane Dawson is a very good example. He kept recreating himself over and over and over again. Initially, he put out really awful content, and you can check it out. I think a lot of it has been deleted, but content which back in the day was acceptable is no longer acceptable today. So, and he was called out for it in a big way, which actually made him become so irrelevant that he left YouTube indefinitely. Although, on Instagram, he shares stories of, buy my merch. It's 50% off. However, you really don't have to buy my merch, things like that. But he became very irrelevant and people became disliking him in a great deal. So, he's walked away from YouTube and now he's moving to Colorado with his fiance, Ryland Adams, because Ryland's family lives there. So then Shane changed up his content to become relevant. He started doing conspiracy theories, which became extremely popular. Then he started going to creators' homes, those who wanted to revive their channels and helping them. And then he did a collab, which everybody knows about, the conspiracy palette and other makeup with Jeffreestar, and he's still friends with Jeffreestar, like him or dislike him. And then he jumped onto the makeup gravy train, which was popular back in the day, but it's dwindling now, and many creators who are doing makeup have become irrelevant or are slowly but surely becoming irrelevant, so you gotta change up your content. And so Shane Dawson, the grandfather of YouTube, the way he liked to call himself, has walked away from YouTube indefinitely because of his irrelevancy and the hate that he's been receiving. Another one who's reinvented himself is Logan Paul. Logan Paul had a very large young audience, young following, and he changed up his content to more adult content, and now he also runs a popular podcast. So he has reinvented himself and once again became relevant. So I actually took a lot of notes and I had a lot more to say, but this video is getting way too long and I don't want to keep you anymore. So in conclusion, a YouTuber's career, a YouTube creator's career isn't forever. It's a great idea to start saving up for when you leave YouTube, for when you no longer wish to create or, you're not at the age where you're relatable anymore. So what do creators who have left YouTube do? They start other careers or they go into similar careers to YouTube. Yeah, sure, they won't live as privileged lifestyles as they had in the past, but they will pick up on work which they still enjoy. Things like editing, being creative, being in a creative social media field. Many creators begin a business while they're still relevant, and that's a very smart move because they're actually thinking of the future, because they know that YouTube isn't forever and eventually they will move on to their business when they age or when they get bored or when they no longer become relevant. They will move on to a business which they have already created and is already successful while they're YouTube creators. Or another thing people do when they leave YouTube is start studying, or teaching online, or even start their own company. So there is life after YouTube, and many people have very successful careers after YouTube. So relevancy on YouTube, it's measurable, really. What's relevant for some may not be relevant for others. what success means to some may be failure to others. So that too needs to be taken into consideration. So I hope I didn't bore you too much with this long video. Thank you so much for watching. I will really appreciate some comments and some likes, and obviously subscribing to my channel. Till next time, love you all so much. Cosmic kisses to everyone. Bye for now.